Hello, this is World University and Schools News and Question and Answer, WUAS Weekly Business Meeting on Monday, October 27th, 2025, and getting started a little bit later than usual because I just had a dentist appointment. At 10:30 a.m. It is right now Pacific time rather than 10 a.m. Greetings from the Golden Gate Park in San Francisco. And dear Universitian and friends all, greetings. This is the MIT OpenCourseWare centric OCW.mi. Oh, I'm not going to use that anymore. I've just been informed. Here is World University and Schools in a Grow with Google WUAS program, weekly business meeting, WUAS news and question and answer with agenda to come for Monday, October 20th, 2025. And I also sent out yesterday the agenda and news for a week ahead for November 3rd, Monday, 2025, next week. So to give people a little sense, a little time to season this agenda and news and provide feedback in a myriad of possible ways, and to invite your feedback and your thinking also. So further, going through the agenda from Monday, the 20th of October, 2025, beginning Mount Redoubt, which is a volcano in Alaska. Again, with the nonprofit 501c3 wing at the URL, the beginning webpage of worlduniversityandschool.org, and the for-profit general stock company legal entity in California wing, which URL or beginning website is worlduniversityandschool.org/academicpress.html, still sharing the same root domain. How best to code for both AI platforms, build them out in 200 countries and in all languages, and potentially in WUAS seeking to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet. Each a Wikidata PIN number from here, U at World University. So that URL is wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/u_at_world_university. Plan for 1 or 2 bank accounts, still a question. Yeah. And regarding developing the 501c3, guidestar.org profile for World University and School as a tax-exempt U.S. federal legal entity. guidestar.org/profile/27-3105368. And possibly even multi-listing the WUAS Corporation on many stock exchanges, but starting with one stock exchange. So further questions regarding these two wings, the 501c3 nonprofit World University and School.org wing, and the second wing, the for-profit general stock company World University and School.org/academicpress.html wing. One board of directors or trustees or 2 boards, and in seeking to use AI in the boardroom, where a recent Stanford Law School Rock Center webinar was helpful. perhaps some boards might emerge further in communication with Stanford Law Rock Center and subsequent online panels as well from them. So further, to begin, are these WUS weekly business meetings a novel kind of unprogrammed friends, NTF, NTQ, Quaker monthly business meeting? Perhaps. All the best, abolitionally, MIT, a Wiki, World University, and School WUAS abolition movement is growing. And you can read more about that at a blog post from in July of 2025 in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/2025/07 lotus-kamalapadma.html. Friendly NTF, NTQ, Quaker greetings, Scott. And the recording of today's WUS weekly business meeting will be posted here at youtube.com/Scott McCloud World University /videos. So some of the things we will explore today are a WUS manifesto and for universal free education and possibly idea-wise an Oxford WUAS collaboration. So the first wing, the World University and School WUAS wing. First of two WUS wings, the 501c3 or similar nonprofit, CC4 licensed, emerging from CC4 licensed ocw.mit.edu courses in part and in a Grow with Google program 2, Wiki, World University and School, worlduniversityandschool.org. So check out the WUAS weekly business meeting recording from Monday, October 13th, 2025, beginning with the species Nepenthes cassiana, NEPENTHESKHASINA, which is posted to the YouTube channel for World University and School, and is in two blog posts beginning Lake Clark Wilderness, Alaska, both the World University and School.blogspot.com blog in October of 2025 and the scott-mccloud.blogspot.com blog in October of 2025, again beginning Lake Clark Wilderness, Alaska. Agenda item 1. A recent video from MIT on YouTube web video came through to my smartphone titled "This is MIT." And I shared this and on Twitter and added something about open courseware, MIT OpenCourseware in its 7 languages in a website address titled or be translated -courses, opencw.aprende.org/courses/translated-courses. And regarding our 200 hashtag WUAS UNIVS and regarding hashtag wiki WUAS, World University and School, planned in 1 hashtag realistic virtual earth, hashtag for STEM, and wondering how, if this is MIT in this one YouTube video featuring lots of STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, explorations at MIT, and this is World University and School planning to emerge from MIT OCW in 7 languages. And previous incarnation of that was opencw.apprende.org/courses/translated courses with these 7 languages. Besides English, traditional Chinese, Turkish, Spanish, Portuguese, Persian, and Korean. How could these possibly complement each other in one way or another, given the CC4 licensing of MIT OpenCourseWare, ocw.mit.edu. Read more about this in the blog post beginning Bactrian Camel in scott-mccloud.blogspot.com's blog from October of 2025. Agenda item 3. This is about a presentation at Stanford Medicine online on Jonathan Chen that I learned about on Jonathan Chen's Twitter feed titled Precision Education in the AI Era. And the presenter was Jesse Burke Raphael, MD, MRes, who is at NYU, the NYU Langone Center. And he has a laboratory there that's fascinating, but his work on AI in with precision education is also very relevant for World University and School. I emailed him and asked whether there might be some collaboration opportunities for World University and schools of medicine planned in 200 countries and in their main languages, and his laboratory at NYU Langone and Stanford Medicine. Dear Jesse and Jonathan, thanks so much for your excellent precision education in the AI era talk on Thursday, October 16th, 2025. Fascinating that you began your talk mentioning the North Star, Polaris, you said, and regarding also this incredible World University and School, which is Wiki, and building out of ocw.mit.edu, where I'm the founder and president of World University and School, regarding this manifesto, this World University and School manifesto that Anthropic AI generated recently. So the Anthropic Claude AI artificial intelligence created a manifesto for World University and School, focusing on universal free education. And I think thanks also to Tufts professor of anthropology, Nick Seaver, who may be one of the guides or thinkers behind Anthropic Claude AI. And further, regarding Jesse Raphael MD's talk, I asked some questions in the middle of the presentation in text chat. And regarding his also mentioning Konrad Lorenz imprinting research and fascinating scientific papers in Austria in the 1930s, where Jesse Raphael seems to have been drawing parallels between possibly the imprinting of ducks on boots and Lorenz's, as Konrad Lorenz was walking around a farmyard, and possibly imprinting on a teacher as a basis for human learning even. So the question I asked Jesse in text chat, imprinting regarding Lorenz on a teacher as a basis for human learning is a fascinating theory I haven't heard before. Could this become also imprinting, human imprinting on avatar agents, MD professors, as conversational, interactive, virtual bots and large language models, and even informing imprinting for learning on humanoid robot, human imprinting for learning on humanoid robot MD professors of surgery, for example, and for developing precision medical education data. And brainstorming, since you, Jesse, Raphael, lived in Mongolia for a year, per your introduction, how would you create a Mongolian World University and School, medical school, in the Mongolian languages, partly in the back of Toyota ambulance vans or similar, and even with Toyota humanoid robot MD professors of surgery, and in all specialties in medicine, 24 specialty subspecialties by one account, and with a physical digital hashtag realistic virtual earth for surgery. Thank you, Scott G.K. McLeod at Wiki World University and School. And check out the very beginning World University and School Medical School, wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/World University Medical School wiki page. Again, planned in 200 countries and in their main or even all 7,000 languages. How might Wiki World University and School, planning online medical schools in all these countries and languages, collaborate further with your precision and translational medical education laboratory, Jesse, and NYU itself, as well as with Stanford Medicine, Jonathan? Friendly regards. Thanks so much. Best wishes and more later. Scott G.K. McLeod. Haven't heard back further directly from Jesse or Jonathan in these regards, but hopefully possibilities for collaboration will emerge. Agenda item 4. From a blog post beginning Neela Kununji, and reaching out to the author of a Harvard Crimson newspaper article about aging reversal, having added it to the aging reversal genetics wiki school or wiki subject at World University and School. With this citation, Becker, Corey, Corey, 2025, Crimson article URL, which features David Sinclair, a Harvard professor of genetics, and 15 questions. The title of the article, 15 questions, David Sinclair on age reversal, exercise, and immortal yeast cells, Cambridge, Mass., thecrimson.com. So I added this to wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/aging reversal genetics, and also included George Church and David Sinclair and Corey Becker and some others in an email letter about seeking World University and School and this wiki school at World University and School, Aging Reversal Genetics, seeking courses on aging reversal genetics and extreme longevity genetics that are MIT OCW like in one way or another. Could Corey Becker and McKenna McCrell, who's the Harvard College undergraduate publisher of the Harvard Crimson this year, and George Church and David Sinclair and others, possibly help World University and School find more courses on aging reversal genetics, or create courses and on extreme longevity genetics. And I also included David Sung Kong. I was in a MIT and Harvard course this spring for registered MIT and Harvard students I was a global listener. There were also committed listeners, titled How to Grow Almost Anything, a synthetic biology course. Could this become the basis in a subsequent year for an aging reversal and extreme longevity genetics course that would be MIT OCW like in one way or another? Agenda item 4A. I also was reaching out to Corey Becker as a graduate of Friends Select School from 1922 in the Philadelphia area, regarding possibly his Quaker background and how, for example, Quakers and Harvard might become more active or involved in aging reversal genetics and extreme longevity genetics, and courses for this and research even in a realistic virtual earth for aging reversal. Agenda item 5. In a related way, the Harvard and MIT professor of genetics in the Harvard Medical School, George Church, recently posted to his Twitter feed a course on a recent development where Nabla Bio got a significant amount of money, who have leading AI software that kind of bridge the wet lab with AI design, and where they will collaborate, partner with Takeda, which will, and Nabla Bio's AI will potentially help Takeda with drug discovery in new ways, and potentially bridging human relevant wet lab capabilities with Nabla Bio's AI design across Takeda's early stage development programs. And I inquired of them, George Church and others, how World University and School might collaborate with both Nabla Bio and Takeda, and also to create a realistic virtual earth for pharmaceuticals, that's a hashtag, and a realistic virtual earth for aging reversal, such that we, World University and School, in this realistic virtual earth, might work with companies who are interested in the digital side, the AI side of aging reversal genetics and extreme longevity genetics. As World University and School grows, seeking for this to develop further, I've explored this in 2 blog posts, one beginning Alaskan Glacier Buttercup Ranunculus in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com, October of 2025, and see also the blog post beginning Strobilanthes kunthiana in scott-mccloud.blogspot.com's blog, also in October 2025. Agenda item 6. Recently, a YouTube video came through to my smartphone about Marburg University in Germany, which is tuition free, and with 2 of its principals sharing a little bit about Marburg University and opportunities to study there. And World University and they were speaking in German, and World University and School is ongoingly planning to be tuition free, like Marburg University in Germany is, although they do ask for a student fee. And but World University and School is seeking to develop fully online in a realistic virtual earth as STEM field sites in classrooms too, and where Marburg University, I think, is taking a different approach in the information age with IT. But could we, World University and School, collaborate with Marburg University in Germany and even to create Germany World University and School in the German language with time? Agenda item 7. What is the philosophy of raga classical music? For example, with sitar, sarod, tabla, originating in India, extrapolating and brainstorming wise, is a question I asked Gemini AI and got an incredible reply. Read about this further in the blog post beginning Alaskan Glacier Buttercup Ranunculus from Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. To extrapolate a philosophy from a classical music that's old is a fascinating brainstorming process to read by emerging conversational generative artificial intelligence. And Gemini AI's response is also fascinating and great. Read it. Agenda item 8. So a yoga conversation emerged in a cafe on Tuesday, October 14th, 2025, in a Berkeley cafe on College Avenue that was very generative. Yoga, historically, in my experience, hasn't gone in the direction of knowledge generation or conversation to explore new avenues of yogic or yoga thinking. And this conversation in the blog post beginning Kadamba flower is another little step in the direction of conversation in yoga to potentially develop knowledge, yoga knowledge in new ways. Check it out. Beginning again in the blog post, Kadamba flower, Neolamarchia Kadamba from 10/2025 in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com. Agenda item 9. From a blog post beginning Red Hibiscus on Friday, October 17th, 2025. Exploring further, holding a restorative yoga class on Saturdays. And as we may live to 150 and well beyond, and exploring holding this in a video call in Zoom, potentially newly now at 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. East Coast time, and also to possibly in an ancillary way develop a conversation about yoga genetics in this process. And again, as we may live to 150 years of age and well beyond, are there vaccines that we could create and give ourselves in the future that would help us become more supple, for example, in yoga asana, and also help with possibly higher, faster, stronger, possibly yoga asana, sun salutation, for example, as we age. So would this possible yoga genetics conversation lead to further aging reversal genetics, which are yoga genetics, in a kind of conversation as an ancillary part of this yoga class, potentially to be live streamed on Saturdays at 7 a.m. Stay tuned for this further and check out the blog post Red Hibiscus. Beginning Red Hibiscus in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/2025/10 red-hibiscus.html. Agenda item 10. Further in the blog post, beginning Kadamba flower, Neolamarchia kadamba, from October 14th, 2025 in my blog, consciousness philosophy regarding the mind-body problem, how to reconcile the first person and third person singular knowledge of consciousness. For example, one's subjective experience and a scientist's knowledge of, say, my subjective experience or your subjective experience. So your subjective experience and a scientist's knowledge, objective knowledge, what's going on in the body, mind, what's going on in the brain when you have subjective experience, is one way to describe how intractable the mind-body problem is. So how could quantum-coded LLMs, hashtag quantum-coded LLM, in a hashtag realistic virtual earth for consciousness help? And in recent decade or so, Google Alphabet is making great advances and breakthroughs in quantum. Could we code further and iteratively large language models, say in Google Street View with time slider at the G cell view level, the G molecule view level, the G atom view level, the G qubit basic unit of quantum levels, a realistic virtual earth for consciousness? Could we even then add a paper, a philosophical paper about consciousness that maybe David Chalmers wrote, and in the Slovakian language to text in the sidebar of a realistic virtual earth of Google Street View with time slider at the quantum level too, and see what this large language model coded with for quantum computing, for quantum physics, does with the paper in terms of even becoming conscious as a consequence of this new coding for consciousness at the quantum level, new coding for quantum in a realistic virtual earth, a large language model, a realistic virtual earth for consciousness. Read about this further in the blog post beginning Kadamba flower near Lamarckia Kadamba, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/2025/10/Kadamba flower. Agenda item 11. How best could World University and School develop digital twin robotics? That's a hashtag digital twin robotics on Twitter, X, and on LinkedIn, and hashtag digital twins with hashtag Lego Spike Prime robotics kits and hashtag WUAS Lego robotics in a hashtag realistic virtual earth for robotics and for hashtag WUAS home robotics. And check out at the minute marker 8:50, 8 minutes 50 seconds, this this YouTube video titled Augmented Reality for Digital Twins, From Lego to Buildings, in this blog post beginning Frank Church River of No Return. So this is a video from, I think the University of Texas, Austin, or similar, by Wei Chan, maybe the professor's name, who has coded buildings that are made from Lego bricks to have digital twins. So could these buildings become, which are coded for making digital twins in a virtual reality in a simulation, the basis for Lego bricks? So each Lego brick would have this coding that would then translate to a virtual Earth that when all these bricks were assembled physically, the physical bricks were assembled, would create, even physical bricks assembled as robots, would create a digital twin of that particular robot build on the virtual side of things, in a realistic virtual Earth for Lego robotics, for example. This opens up worlds of learning and creativity for students, coding potentially on the digital side in a realistic virtual Earth for Lego robotics from builds they've made with physical Lego bricks, working with AI and machine learning in whole new, different ways that would be not as easy regarding the physical Lego robotics builds, Lego robot builds they make. Stay tuned. World University and School seeks to facilitate this further. Agenda item 12. Further, in the Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness, Alaska blog post, Rifai in Sri Lanka recently emailed me a course he adapted and created from an MIT OpenCourseWare course on Python, titled Intro to Computer Science and Python. And this is an adaptation of this particular course, and potentially ready to go as a mini course in a sense. And thank you, Rifai, in Sri Lanka, for helping to create this. And you can read more about this Python course, this Intro to Computer Science Python course that World University and School may offer to our students in this blog post, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/2025/10 Frank-Church-River of No Return, HTML. Agenda item 13. Also in the Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness, Alaska blog post, I further asked Gemini how best to invite people to wiki teach and wiki learn at MIT OCW-centric Wiki World University and School, possibly using artificial intelligence, besides the current format that World University and School uses: last name of author, first name of author, year of publication, open bracket, URL, if there is one, title of article or paper or book, close bracket, place of publication, publisher's name. And Gemini AI gave an extraordinary reply, which could become a model for managing World University and School's wiki side as World University and School seeks to further develop our wiki schools in all 7,000 languages and build communities with people helping to create these. Read more about this in the Frank Church River of No Return blog post as well. Agenda item 14. Further in this same blog post, Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness, how will a realistic virtual Earth for viruses in one iterating realistic virtual Earth help with approaches to curing the common cold? hashtag curing the common cold, WUAS, on Twitter X and possibly LinkedIn. And I asked this of Gemini AI and got an incredible Gemini AI reply. Further, check it out, again in the Frank Church River of No Return blog post. So in some of these regards, feel a cold coming on? How could hashtag avatar agent electronic health records, hashtag WUAS interoperable, hashtag with a, hashtag realistic virtual earth be brought to bear to end cold early? E.g., or for example, via hashtag eRapid sensor, and regarding approaches to hashtag curing the common cold. And Gemini further gave an incredible reply. All of this in the Frank Church River of No Return blog post. Agenda item 15. MIT CSAIL recently shared on Twitter key AI tools to use for things like video generation, data visualization, and coding assistance. A whole list of them in different categories. Check out the Twitter post in the agenda and news for today, for actually last Monday, October 20th, 2025, in the Mount Readout blog. Switching to the other wing for World University and School, now, the WS Corporation, the second of two WUS wings, a for-profit general stock company legal entity in the state of California, the WS Corporation, WS Press, academic press in 7,159 languages with machine learning, World University and School.org academic press. Agenda item A. In WUS seeking to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet, each a Wikidata pin number from here, World University and School.org /wiki/u at World University. How best to plan for this? And the WS blockchain, especially, and on the WUS Corporation wing, and for potentially distributing Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency, free money daily, to most of all 7.9 billion people, and to end poverty. And you can begin to get Stanford MindPi free money daily here at mindpi.com/SGKMAC using SGKMAC as an invitation code. This potentially could help billions of people possibly move out of poverty. And how to code for this, how to get such porous people smartphones, for example, and build the infrastructure, electricity as well, so that they can begin to get Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency also at home. And then how could they start to use it to buy things like food and shelter and similar? And could World University and School also facilitate free universal education in their languages, wiki people to people free universal education, so everyone could teach to each other, and also free WUS degrees that include bachelor, PhD, law, medicine, IB high school or similar or equivalent, AAAS, and master's degrees. Agenda item B. So regarding the digital twin robotics, hashtag digital twin robotics and hashtag digital twins with hashtag Lego Spike Prime robotics kits and hashtag WS Lego robotics in a hashtag realistic virtual earth for robotics and for hashtag WUAS home robotics, how best to build out the physical digital WUAS educational services stores with Lego robotics. And from here, the World University School.org /academicpress.html. I've explored this at some length, in some detail in past years, but can our digital WS educational services stores be inside our physical WS educational services stores too, such that people could come into our physical WS educational services stores which would have Lego robotics kits, since we're an authorized reseller of 3 Lego robotics kits, and begin to play in the store with the physical Lego bricks to make Lego robots there, and see how it would work in the digital WUS educational services stores. Could the WUS educational services stores, as digital stores, as virtual stores eventually, then be accessible even from people's homes, in people's homes, such that people might go into these homes in a WS multimedia room in their homes to try out a Lego robotics kit virtually, and then decide that they might want to get a physical kit if they want to matriculate at World University and School for free WS degrees, and have that mailed or delivered to their home by WS Educational Services stores, for example. More about this in the blog post, also Frank Church, River of No Return. Agenda item C. So how are teachers using AI in the classroom? Andreas Schleicher, a German teacher who works for the OECD, the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, which is, I think, made up of 38 member countries out of about 200 member countries, talks very interestingly in a very short video, in a YouTube Shorts video, on how are teachers using AI in the classroom. Check it out. So that's the WS News and Question and Answer, the WS Weekly Business Meeting for today, Monday, October 27th, 2025. I'll post the recording of this to the current main YouTube channel of World University and School, youtube.com/Scott McLeod World University /videos, and also to the 2 blog posts for today, beginning Mount Readout, and also to our main Twitter posts, Twitter feeds, twitter.com/World Univ and SCH, twitter.com/WUS Press, as well as to our main LinkedIn profiles, of which there's one beginning World University and School. Next week's WS News and Question and Answer, WS Weekly Business Meeting, meets on 11/3/2025, Monday, November 3rd, 2025, again in Zoom video call. If you'd like to join this, please do simply click the link that goes out in the email that I send on the Sunday before the following Monday, and now before the following second Monday, and join the call with your questions, with your answers. I've already sent out the agenda for the Monday, November 3rd, 2025, yesterday, weekly business meeting. Check it out as well. And until next time, until Monday, November 3rd, 2025, all the best. If you have questions, please let me know at president@worlduniversityandschool.org. If you know students who are interested in matriculating as well, please let me know. Until next time, see you later. Bye for now.